Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, softball players across the nation, you are tuned in to this week's episode of Hot Soup. As always, I'm Flip.
I'm G.
What up, y'all? I'm Rippy.
And today we have a very special guest. Most of you guys know who we're dealing with here. Before we get into all that, I want to give a special shout out to our sponsor of this week's stream, Robin Liberty. She is a mortgage loan officer for JP Mortgage. She could do anything. She's a mortgage broker connected to the top 10 lenders in the country. She offers conventional FHA, USDA, VA, down payment assistance, and rehab 203K loans, rate and term, as well as cash out refinances. So if you're looking for a new home, contact her for approval. If you didn't know, a cash out refinance is a great way to pay off debt or use the equity in your home to start an investment. Okay, if you are doing anything involving your home, contact Robin at 734-740-4185. Again, she is a mortgage loan officer, and I highly suggest you go to her. Let me drop some bombs for Robin one time.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, so if you guys are familiar with Michigan softball, right? Obviously 90% of you guys that are on here are in the Michigan area. And if you're not, our guest today is somebody that's been around the Michigan scene for a while. Started from the bottom like pretty much everybody else. And kind of grinded his way to the top, man. So without further ado, I would like to introduce to the world, or everyone else, Austyn Dawe. Austyn, welcome to the show, my friend.
Hey, what up, everybody? Thanks for having me.
How are you?
Appreciate you chiming in.
Yeah,
Not bad,
facts.
man. Not bad.
That's good, man. So obviously, you're a softball player, clearly. Again, you started out from the bottom and got to the top. So kind of, just explain who you are and, where you came from. Like what got you in, who got you in attorney ball, and what was your first tournament team?
So, I grew up around it. My dad played upper C softball back when there was 50, 60 teams in it. Like, I think his last year was probably about 2004, 2005. Well, fast forward to, I think it was like my sophomore or junior year of high school. So like 2014, 2015. What a good buddy of mine and his dad played some co-ed local softball tournaments. I played in those. And then my junior year of high school, I played my first sanctioned travel team. It was NSA Silver with Sin City.
Hey.
And
17 years old?
yeah,
Dang.
I had to have a parent permission slip.
Wow.
And that was like Lonnie. I mean, you guys don't know him, but his name was Lonnie Madden, and a couple of those guys over there, like from the area I grew up in. And then,
So where's that area you grew up in?
Hastings, Michigan. It's all like in between. It's like just north of Battle Creek.
Shout out to West Siders.
Oh yeah, shout out to them. And then I played with a longtime family friend for a couple tournaments, Dylan Cudahy. And playing with him, Rob Lee ended up picking me up for my like first legitimate U-Trip travel team, and that was with Michigan Elite back in 2016.
Wow.
Yeah.
How old were you then?
I was 18.
She's just a little baby.
Yeah.
My my first tournament with him, I had to have this girl at my school write a note out. Told my parents I was staying at a buddy's house for the weekend, and we went down to Columbus, Ohio.
So
That's wild.
That's awesome.
2016, you won Northern E-Worlds at Liberty Park. So
Yeah.
R.I.P.
yeah, rest in peace, Liberty Park. So can you give us a little bit about who the team was you were with, and what are your thoughts on being the last team to win North Worlds, well, E-North Worlds at Liberty before it closed?
Oh man. So like a lot of the dudes on the team, man, we had like a really good mix. There was a I think it was like 6 or 7 of older guys that played on the Players Choice team, which is Rob, basically Michigan Elite, from like the year before, and then Rob found me and a couple other guys that had never played travel ball really before, and the year started out rough. I think we were fucking we were averaging in Columbus, Ohio. We averaged like 27 DBOs.
Wow.
Yeah, and inning enders. It was in like 7 games. It wasn't very good, and we ended up winning it somehow. But so like the year started out rough. We early on we had like a bunch of battles with Rodney Frazio's trust team before they got bumped.
I was on that team.
And G. And yeah, so then after them, we didn't really lose a whole lot of games in E.
That was when you guys had those purple jerseys, right?
Yeah, they were terrible. Yeah, we had them. We had like 5 uniforms, and they were all just a different color cotton.
So,
That's funny.
so 2016 you win. 2017 you made a big jump from E all the way to B, playing conference with the Honey Badgers. So
Yeah.
for you, especially at that age, what was the jump like on and off the field for you, and how did that opportunity come up?
So originally I had planned on playing with Rodney in D the following year, and a dude, just I've been around the game since I was a kid. I knew a bunch of people that my dad used to play that fortunately enough still played, and Honey Badgers, they had it was like an unlimited home run tournament down in Portage, Indiana, and Bo Goins actually asked me to come along, and they actually, yeah, shout out to Bo. They were actually having like a tryout for another guy. I'm not gonna say names. And Bo's like last minute pick, like, hey, Austyn can come play, like we'll come play, whatnot. It's so funny that I remember this because it was me, Bo, Jimmy Jackson, and his name was Eric Stein, but he was in the group chat as well, or in the car, like the car ride there. And we just had like a bet, to sit up front, like highest average gets to sit up front.
Hey.
So like it was stupid, but there's Bo who didn't make an out, and then I think I made like 1 out, but and then after the tournament, they're like, hey, like we're gonna pick up this guy, but you kind of outperformed him. You shocked us a lot. Like, how would you feel about playing with us next year? And I said, dude, I'd fucking love it. Like, what level do you guys play?
I could only imagine Bo's response to this.
Yeah. Well, I only knew Bo from like Ambush, like his NSA team.
Now you're dating old Bo now.
Yeah.
That's funny. So,
But-
I mean, dude, shout out. I mean, I haven't talked to this man in forever. Shout out Jimmy Jackson, man. Like, that was my guy too. It's funny, and Jimmy had to be really young then, as well. That's pre-Arsenal days, right?
Yeah, dude, it was like early 2017, like early, like beginning of March, end of February, probably.
Oh, so this is like right when Jimmy probably like right after this is when Jimmy probably started building Arsenal.
Yeah, probably.
Right on. I mean, were you on Arsenal then? Like also like for NSA?
So I didn't start the year out with him. I started with like Joe Dorton and Shannon and a couple other guys on Ridge, but then our team ended up folding, and I ended up hopping on halfway through the year with him.
Not a terrible pickup.
No, but back to Flip's question about how like he had asked on how I prepared myself for that level, man. Like I had lived with Sam Teal in Potterville, Michigan, and there's a lot of. I mean, we probably took 1,000 swings a week, man, just getting ready. We hit every day at this high school just to get ready. Taught myself how to cut a softball, and once I learned that, dude, it was game changing for my offensive abilities.
Dude, I remember one of the first times like I actually like hung out and talked to you. It was actually in Dome Ball, and you were just hitting just bombs like off the back wall. And I think I made a smart ass comment. I was like, Austyn, anyone can get a home run. And you're like, yeah, that you're right. Next time I'll get up and hit left-handed. And like the smart ass you are, you got up and hit like a perfect seed down the fucking left field line, left-handed. I was like, this kid's so cocky, but that was impressive as fuck. Like, I was like, all right, touche, sir, touche. So, I mean, have you always been able to do that? You know, be able to switch it?
Yeah, I switched it in high school and like all my whole life. So
I remember a couple years ago, didn't you win a home run derby like at
at the
old
corner
Tigers?
ballpark,
Yeah.
yeah, I beat Luna, Galeniak, all them dudes left-handed.
Dang.
All right, I see you
It's
working.
tough to do.
So, so you make the jump. We'll fast forward more to a present time. So your past season obviously was pretty impressive. You were a big part of the success S&I had, being the top AA team last year. So that team came through when it mattered most, and you finished the season as world champs. So what was that experience like, winning AA Worlds? And how did past seasons playing for teams like GMS and West Point prepare you for the AA level?
Well, so playing with GMS was it was an experience because like all them dudes have played conference. They had a lot of them had played with Line Drive, and then you had Mikey, who had been like a successful dude with Premier. Dude, like all these dudes had been there and done it. So like just to learn from them, it was an experience, man.
That team was good.
We were sneaky good, and I think
Yeah.
we may have had the most reclasses in the country. Because I mean, I think when we started out, like by roster wise, we should have been a AA team.
Jeez.
That's wild. I remember like seeing you
no.
guys play, and I was like, who the hell's playing defense on this team? But
None of us,
I mean,
none of us did.
Not of mine.
Yeah, you guys sure did hit the damn ball.
Yeah.
Put up enough runs, you don't have to play defense.
So about
Dude,
who
we
cares
pick-
about that?
We picked up this dude, Jeff Payton, who hadn't played in like years. Dude, we show up to Columbus, Ohio. He thought he had like an extra foul ball. Like that's how long it had been since he played.
So it was the none to waste rule wasn't last time
Yeah.
he played wasn't implemented.
Yeah, so it was crazy, dude. We just had a bunch of old ass dudes that fucking hit the fuck out of the ball and didn't really play defense. We fielded the balls hit at us, and
Dad power, Jose called
And they had your young ass out there.
yeah, dude, they had my ass playing right field. I think that was the last time I've ever saw the outfield.
And then fast forward another year to West Point.
Dude, that was an experience, man. That was my first year getting everything paid for. Like, it's a great group of dudes. I mean, to this day, that was the most fun team I've played on. Alicia, she's a great sponsor. She's probably one of the best sponsors in the game, and people obviously know, like up at the conference level, like a lot of like your upper players get paid, and people continue year after year, like her loyal ones continue to play for free, man. She does it right. So
Now, I mean, I guess that's fitting because currently you are living down in the Columbus, Indiana area, correct?
I am.
So you fit right in with those fellas then, huh?
Oh yeah, man. I hang out with Kanan and Cody and Kinnick and Rob Roop all the time.
Yeah.
Nice.
All great people.
So, your AA World wasn't your only big time finish. Okay, so you also had a good run in the ASA USA circuit. So, tell us a little bit about your Thunder Chosen team and your run at Nationals.
Oh, double A or the A?
All of them. Let's hear about them all.
Okay, double A. Well, the year before with the Thunder, I can't. We didn't have the finish we wanted, but I ended up being the offensive MVP of that tournament. So going into it this year, I was pretty confident in my abilities. Like with the big name dudes that we ended up having. Like Travis Clark, Adam Ussery. Who else? I can't remember who we had. Yeah, but anyways, it was a good time. A bunch of dudes that, the ASA is. I mean, it's a serious tournament, but like it's a lot. It's like it's not like a regular season tournament for them. So like, people still try to win, but they don't. They don't. It's a good time to play with people you don't normally get to play with. So there's a lot of good camaraderie and everyone hanging out and playing. But I mean, ASA is fun, man. So, and then the A. So it was the A team minus like Kyle Pearson and Josh Riley and I, they played the B. They had won the B, so those guys were, dude, I think they were like 9 games deep by the start of
Yeah, I was gonna say, isn't that the one
of
with
our
both
A
of them?
tournament. And people had injuries, and then KP, Josh Riley and I showed up and helped the team out to win the A. And Oklahoma Heat isn't nothing to joke with. So
I mean, it's three okay pickups there.
yeah, we were all right.
Yourself, KP, and Riley.
But,
For those who don't know, why don't you give the people here a little insight on who the Thunder chosen sponsors are, who the coach was, and help put all that stuff together.
So the Thunder chosen is Seth Green. He's based out of New York, and then the chosen sponsor is Joel DeJaneiro, based out of New York. Two of the best sponsors in the game. I played for him this past year. And then for the ASA, our coach was Tim Barnes. He had Coach Rezzy.
Okay. Now Tim Barnes, he puts together. I mean, obviously, I think the three of them have their hands in creating a lot of teams at multiple levels. Correct?
Correct. I think last year they had a B team, or no, their A team, a double A. No, it was a B and A and a double A, and then a major team, and then they had a women's major team.
Wow, that's impressive and spreading a lot of love around there.
That is a lot of love that I would not spend.
Yeah. Now compare the experience at USA ASA Nationals at Oklahoma City compared to Space Coast and U-Trip Worlds. Like, what is the atmospheres like? What are the venues like? So on and so forth.
So, obviously everyone who plays U-Trip knows about Vieira. I never got the chance to play at Disney, unfortunately. I heard that, that complex was great. There was tons to do. Now, Vieira, honestly, I'm not a huge fan on Vieira, man. It's dude, the complex is nice as hell, but I mean, they just don't have like a lot to do. Like, there's no shade. There's nothing like for your family to do like on off days. But I mean, the playing experience there is unreal, dude. And playing in the stadium, like the stadium's a whole different experience. Like, you get a night game there, you have 400, 500, 600 people there watching you.
Right.
And stepping up to the plate and hearing the announcer announce your name is probably one of the coolest things in softball.
Yeah, it goes for
definitely
pretty
see
much
that.
any level. It's always been sweet growing up as a kid, hearing your name called, and you're like,
absolutely.
Yeah.
It's happened a few times at the old D level.
Yeah.
It's pretty tight.
I mean, I got to watch the stream of some of the games at USA ASA Nationals, and Oklahoma City Stadium looks. I mean, it does look beautiful there.
Yeah, I mean that's where they played the College World Series, man. I mean, that was by far the coolest complex I've ever played at. So outside of like the main stadium, they have, it's like 6 or 7 fields, but we only used 4 or 5 of them. But I mean, the infields are super nice, like 300 all the way around. I mean, it's as nice as you can get.
I mean, from what I've seen watching it, looks absolutely beautiful. So how in the hell did it just seems like the rosters only. I bet it's crazy that adding U3 to A was somehow a possibility, but
it was that team won't be able to play A again.
yeah.
But a lot of those dudes, they never had like an established, USA ASA rating before. So basically, it was like a merger between our AA Thunder team and S&E, and then obviously our two other pickups. But so in ASA, you get for the A, you get 2 RPL players, which is your restricted players list, is basically their major list. And then for some reason, I was only an A+. and I never understood that. But so basically, like, and then all those S&E and chosen guys, you know, they came into the year or as A guys, so they were all A. So I mean, that's just, I'm not really sure how that got to work.
I mean, sounds like it's the perfect storm.
Yeah, I mean, it was awesome, man. I got to play with a bunch of great dudes I'd never played with before, and you know, a lot of those dudes are on major teams this year. So it was cool to be able to do that with that group before, you know, it couldn't happen again.
For sure. I mean, Grant, have you ever played anything ASA like that, like where you've traveled out of town for? Or, I mean, obviously everyone's played like local stuff.
Just local stuff, West Side. Never gone anywhere crazy for any ASA events, unfortunately.
I know in certain areas, I mean, it's like a cult following for like the people that live like, I mean, especially like, for example, the West Side of our state, like from my understanding, they really do not care for like pump faking and the aspect of U-trip. They like the higher art
Go the
pitch
ball,
and
let's go. Yep.
yeah, I mean, the old that aspect of the game. So
Blake
I mean,
did ask me to play ASA with him.
hey, Blake's great people, man.
I love Blake.
So
Flipper?
yeah, I just out of curiosity, because now I have intrigued minds as well as myself. What was your mindset going in, you know, in making the decision to leave West Point?
So
You obviously said it was the most fun team you've had on, so it had to be a little tough.
So, you know, we had a killer year, and you know, we ended up going 1-2 at A Worlds. But I mean that didn't really impact my decision on leaving. But I mean, obviously, like, you know, if you're in the conference, everyone's end goal is, you know, to play at the major level. You know, I had asked Alicia what she was doing. I asked if she was going to go AA, and if she did, I was going to stay. But you know, we had a couple of our guys leave and go to Premier, and you know, our team ended up breaking up, and
Okay.
she ended up having a team again this year. But you know, her goal was to stay in A again, and mine was, you know, to go up. So
Okay.
there was no hard feelings between her and I. You know, I still see her. You know, and I still play teams with her or tournaments with her like 5 or 6 times a year.
Okay. So
Can't imagine there be any bad blood between you and anyone, really.
Oh, absolutely not.
we've had bad blood. So outside of the teams, right? Let's talk bats. So for those watching that don't already know, Austyn is a pro player for Suncoast, and we'll get more into that here soon. But let's talk about the experience of becoming an actual pro player for a bat manufacturer and how you got that opportunity.
So, it started. I had started out with Louisville Slugger my year with GMS. I had actually reached out to them while I was working with softball fans back then, and I was like the Wilson field rep for softball fans, so I knew like Dennis Turner and Mike Cornell. I had actually reached out to D Marini first, and they were full. So then he was like, hey, like, get a hold of DT, you know, they're always looking for guys. So I reached out to Dennis Turner, and he gave me a shot, and you know,
Rest is history.
rest is history. I mean, I was with him up until the middle of last year when you know, stuff doesn't go right. So you know, you got to do what's best for you. And I ended up hopping on with Suncoast in Rob Roop, which is an ex-teammate of mine. He was doing all their contracts, and you know, he lives 5 minutes down the road from me. He's my BP partner. Him and I were kind of in the works for just over a year. You know, I'd planned on, after my contract was up, to head out with Suncoast, but you know, some things sped that up, and I couldn't be happier.
Okay. So with your current spot with Suncoast, you know, with it coming about and everything, how does that opportunity compare to other ones that you've had in the past?
You know, I got lucky. Suncoast is like an up and coming company in the U-Trip in the ASA market.
Kind of fits your whole story, really.
It does, man. I
You know?
mean, basically, like, we have control of, I would say, about 70% of the senior market. Like, I mean, we have the best senior bats on the market, and you know, we're making the push to have the best U-Trip and ASA bats on the market. You know, and I think we're up there.
Okay. So
Dude, that's
yeah, go ahead, Rick.
good. No, I remember old Terry Padsell was a huge
Oh yeah,
Suncoast
Paco.
senior. Yes, I know that's your guy too.
Hey, that
So
is my dude.
I remember him and I chatting it up, and he was all geeked up getting his own senior line and stuff back in the day. But I mean, that dude for his age still probably would out hit a ton of people at this in the sea level here in Michigan. I'd say.
Yeah, the dude would kill it. I mean, he'd be the best leadoff hitter in any local C team.
Yeah, I couldn't disagree with that.
I mean, he played for street kids for the longest time. That I know of, and street kids. They used to be a top team.
Okay. So
Chromie wants to know if your bags made it back from Myrtle.
Yeah, dude.
I was gonna ask that too.
I had to go pick him up. What is today? Tuesday? Yeah, I had to go pick him up yesterday. Had to go drive an hour to go get him.
So a couple days after you got back, then. Still
Uh,
one day, I guess.
A couple hours after I got back.
Okay.
Not terrible.
Busy day.
Yeah, dude. I was at the airport for about 18 hours on Sunday.
Jeez.
Football, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
So you've actually got your own signature bat now.
I do.
And that's like what I would say a lot of ball players would dream of having. What's that like? And while you talk about it, give us a little info on the bat, and I'll show these guys some clips that you were nice enough to send over of the bat actually being used in action. So what's that like? And tell us more about your own bat.
Well, so obviously, like it's a blessing to get one. It's really cool to like finally see it all develop and finally happen with a great company. But honestly, dude, I think the coolest part about it, like, isn't having it. It's showing up to a ballpark and seeing people swing your
Somebody
bat.
use
like,
it. Yeah.
That's
Yeah, like
pretty
I
dope.
saw that
like,
video
dude,
you posted of somebody randomly using it, and you were like, "This is sick."
yeah, dude. Like as soon as they started shipping out, and I saw people on Facebook getting them, I'm like, wow, that's fucking cool, man.
Like people tagging you in their posts. Probably
Yeah,
getting
it was
that, like,
awesome.
yeah, that's amazing.
It was definitely like a highlight of my career.
That's pretty sweet. I ain't gonna lie. I think most guys watching would probably be envious of that. That's pretty dope. So is that the only bat you swing?
Start using the AD here. We go.
Yeah.
That is the only bat that I swing. Like I'll be swinging in tournament ball, but obviously like leagues, and then like I'd have my my gig with Suncoast where I have to promote. Like I promote all of them.
Okay. So
You can't just promote your own.
Yeah, I mean I want like
People
You
to
know,
pick what's best for them, not just because it's yours.
as much as I like seeing my bat sell, I'm
Right.
like I have like a good connection with the company, and I want to see the company grow. So
Right.
okay.
That's
So
what you can ask for.
did you get to pick the specs of the model yourself? And
I did. So my favorite bat of all time was the Freak Honey Badger when I was with them. It's a 12-inch balance with the tack barrel, and that's what I really liked. Suncoast already had the tack barrel patent, so I was like, screw it, let's do their first 12-inch balance and let's just let it rip.
okay, so
Ripping.
So it actually
John Weir said he used it this weekend. It's very hot.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's great,
Recommend
man.
it anyone.
We had to send it in to get tested a couple of times because it was too hot, and it took a couple attempts to get it to finally pass. But I mean, it's as good as it can get.
So did you try anything else out before you actually settled in on that, or was it just as soon as you got the opportunity, it was nope, let's run it this way?
Are you talking about like Suncoast in general, or just my bat?
Your bat specifically.
Oh, last year I swung our 12-inch end-loaded one, but I'd been doing prototype work for I'd say 7 or 8 months on it.
Okay.
Gotta
So
perfect.
did it come close for you to choose and alter something? I mean, did it come down to like, these, 1, 2, or 3 options that you're kind of trying to decide between, or was it like you just knew that was the one?
I just knew that was the specs I wanted. they had sent me a couple different prototypes to test out, and like I had the opportunity to be like, do I want like a bat that's ready to go from swing one? Do I want a bat, that takes time to break in, or do I want to, or like a middle of the road? But with our stuff, it tends to hold compression pretty easily, so I just went with the
Hot to trot off the
hot
rip.
from swing one. So
What out of the wrappers is it tested normally?
275.
Oh wow! All right.
And then that's higher than most companies, but after about 50 to 60 swings, it gets down to 250, and it just holds compression. Like I only have 2 right now, but I mean those 2 have hundreds of swings on them. Like I hit one all weekend in Myrtle, and it's still at 255.
that was in the cold.
And that was in the cold, hitting rocks.
Jeez. And none of them broke, huh?
I have yet to break one.
Nice.
Wow.
Like a Suncoast in general, I have yet to break one.
Yeah, that's a good sign.
Yeah.
Clearly some quality bats right now.
So, is this your favorite Suncoast bat you've swung? Then I know you have a little bias, but like, yeah, I know you've swung.
I've swung them all. I've swung ones that are coming out, and I just personally for my swing, I think it's the best one that we have. Obviously, people have people like Endload, some people like Balance, but I think the bat's great.
Well, this is you pitching, actually. I didn't even notice that.
Did I send you that one?
Yeah. I'm not gonna complain. It was a good catch. Shit.
I
was nice.
One pitching every now and then.
For those who didn't see that, this is your boy Dawe pitching here. It took me a second to realize it until I saw it was you.
Yeah, I think the next batter grinder hit me in the thigh or something. I didn't want to send you that one.
I'll take the highlights. I'm good with that. Snap them
our
off.
pitcher ended up having to leave early, and then he's like, "Hey man," I was like, "Hey man, you're gonna have to leave your helmet and shin guards here, man. I'm gonna need to use that."
That's hilarious. Who was pitching for you at the start?
Pinkham was.
Oh. Terrible choice. Terrible.
Terrible, guys. Awful.
So, for our people watching in the chat and that'll watch this back on playback, where can you pick one of your bats up at?
So you can go to suncoastsoftball.com and pick one up, or you can hit me up or any of my Ricky Sports reps on Facebook.
Okay, is there a...
Who are they?
Yeah, I was going to say, who's some of your sports reps?
Your local Michigan ones, we have John Andrews. Dude, I'm like drawing blanks right now.
Put him on the spot.
Yeah, put him on the spot.
Derek Aldrich, Drew Agero. We have Stan Grunis. That's all I can think of off the top of my head.
Quite a few already for just being very.
Yeah, I'm up to about 60, 70 reps, dude, total.
Jeez.
So, out of curiosity, is there a limit on how many bats you guys are having made for your line this year? Or is that going to be? Are they just going to continue to trickle out through the year? Or is this hey guys, get it while the getting's good?
So basically, we have our launches set up for like the next 4 years, and like that's how we do it. I mean, we have like we just had my bat come out. We had the competitive edge bat come out. We have 3 one-piece models coming out. Those will be the first one-piece models we have. And then we have bats coming out that I can't talk about yet.
I'm more referencing like your signature bat. Like, was there like 1,000 made this year?
Oh,
2,000? Or is it just going to keep?
So we had 1,750 of my bats made. So
all numbered.
No, not numbered. They're not numbered. So basically, I was the first mainline, like 240 guy. So mine came out, and then here soon, like we'll be in the works for my next one. We'll get the ball rolling on that.
Is this some news right now you're dropping that you're gonna have a second bat drop this year?
No, not this year. It takes about 5 to 6 months to get one.
Gotcha. I just didn't know for the people out there that are looking to pick up your signature bat, if it's like, hey, get them while you can.
I mean,
it's
what
limited supply.
we have is what we have. I mean, I don't think, to my knowledge, we're not making any more of them. I mean, who knows? I might be swinging.
Want to get round 2.
I might be swinging my one for next year at the major. I mean, who knows?
Right. Yeah.
Might have to drop an off the bench line of those bats. Just saying.
I mean, for it being here January 18th, I mean, if there's only just north of 1,000 made, I think if folks are smart, they'd get it as soon as they could, because I can't see them. As the season goes on, I could see them being gone.
I mean, I've had people tell me it's the best looking bat made to date and the best bat for this coming season. I know personally, I've sold, like, between me and my reps, we've probably sold over 450 of them. So I mean, I bet you there's only about 700 left.
And it's mid-January, and there's less than 800 left for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I know I'm selling about, like, personally, I'm selling about 12 to 15 a week.
Hey, like I said, I mean, right currently we've got 112 people, viewing this right now. For any of you guys out there,
viewers,
I would, I mean, get with Austyn, get your bat, because, by the time the season rolls around, it looks like there's going to be a good odds that there's not going to be any left for you.
Yeah.
See, and Austyn even made a deal that if we could get 500 live viewers, one of you guys would get an opportunity to get it in. Yeah, we need more shares. We need more shares and more likes and more live viewers. Yes.
Yeah, Phil, yours does look pretty good.
Ooh.
So, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Phil's might take the cake when it comes out. His is awesome.
Really? What color we got?
I'm not saying any of that.
No info for us.
No info. But I mean, his looks great, man. And Phil, he grew up he's from Michigan, lives in Kentucky now. So I mean, if you guys ever need any deamery, that's my boy. So hit him up.
Nice.
Dude, so last year I hit up Phil, and we're having a conversation. I was like, Ben, is there anyone else down in the Kentucky area you could? I mean, we were talking about a player already that he was telling me about. I was like, is there anyone else down there, like, give a look? He's like, Ricky, I got a guy for you. I said, oh yeah? Who is it? He's like, he lives in Columbus, Indiana. He's a young guy. I said, oh yeah? Well, what's his name? He goes, Austyn Dawe. I said, Phil, go fuck yourself. We laughed so hard. We were at Cincy this year, and he was telling people, like, just making jokes about it. I was like, this guy's such an ass. Phil's great people, man. Great people.
Phil is a very good dude, man.
He also can hit a softball a little bit.
Nah,
A little bit.
He lifts for nothing, man. He can't hit no softball.
Jeez, I feel like there's gonna be a derby coming up. The Dawe bat versus the Matt bat.
Ooh,
Hey.
we could live stream it right here.
Yeah, we got it, bro. We got it.
I mean, we could probably do it this week. It's like upper 50s down here.
I feel like that's a challenge.
Phil,
Y'all got snow up there.
Yeah.
Phil, what you ready to put up on that challenge, buddy?
Oh, that dude he'd beat me.
Ooh, don't sell yourself short, Austyn. Enough people stroke him. He's all right. You don't need your help.
Crummy.
So
Don't do that to Crummy.
back to let's go back to the whole playing side of your career here. So right now you're living in Indiana, and this coming up Challenge Cup, you'll be playing for their major team. It's not your first one. You went last year with Michigan. So with this year coming up, how does it compare to last year? What are some improvements you think Michigan could make that are within the current rules of the event?
Well, I don't want to step on any director's toes or anything, but you gotta take your best 12, man. I think the whole 3 or 4 people per team is the dumbest rule you could ever think, man. That's just not what it's about.
No matter what team the best players come from.
No, I do think like you gotta find a way
to incorporate potentially all of them, maybe.
Not
all of them, but
there's not gonna be a way where you can get around, like a voting system. Like a voting system wouldn't work because at that point it's a popularity. Like, like this guy's my buddy, I'm gonna vote for him.
Yep.
Like honestly, like I think there should be, like if all the coaches for each division got together, and I mean, did got the Game Changer app where you could see everyone's stats, and if you guys could keep like a true stats for sanctioned tournaments, or even do like your big NITs, your state qualifiers, and worlds, like if you guys could keep accurate stats for that and go based off that way, I think it'd make your Challenge Cup teams, I mean, they could make a great improvement.
I'll throw a little 2 cents in there. Like, I mean, that was heavily talked about last year. Like, because I've had multiple conversations with Billy last year and Dave Word, and trying to figure out a way to incorporate a possible scorekeeper. Which, I mean, getting volunteers and people to work as umpires is hard enough to bring that on, and then or people to be honest, man, about stats. Like, that's I think the hardest part, but. Yeah, I think you're onto something there with like trying to get some kind of realistic database of numbers. And I think that only would help with things like reclasses and everything as well.
Yeah, Blake, I did handpick my Challenge Cup team.
For
but I'm different.
For those wondering how you can keep track of your stats, make sure you check out Flip's books and get yourself a custom book. All the stat lines you need are in there. Shameless plug.
Hey, those I didn't realize you had that until probably like a month or two ago. And those are fire.
Tell your coach to come shop, man. I'll hook you up.
I'll tell him.
You have your own custom bat, your own custom book. Can't get no more fresh than that, man.
I might even hit up, like, make Suncoast do something, and we could stock your books and sell them on the website or something.
Oh boy.
I'm ready when you are, my friend. Trust and believe. I am ready when you are.
I mean, dude. So like the weird thing is, like when I worked at Softball Fans, bro, I feel like we were picking 100 score books a day, man.
Me and you're gonna chat after this for sure. I don't want to take too much time shameless plugging myself in there, but we're definitely gonna have some more conversations there, Austyn. I'm down for that.
Yeah, I got you.
So let's start the next part off by saying, congratulations on the move up. Obviously, that's huge, and playing for a major team this season coming up. Can you give us some info on your team for this year?
Actually, I can. So our roster's not out yet, but I don't care. They're not gonna cut me. So we got a bunch of dudes who are. We got quite a few dudes who have something to prove this year. Who were on major teams last year, who definitely deserve to be on their teams, and they got shit to prove. Like we got Steele Lewis on our team. He'll be our center fielder this year. We got Jason Magnum, Tyler Wilson, and anyways, but those are guys who got stuff to prove this year. Then you got me and Josh Fife from SNI coming up this year again. Well, SNI Thunder. And then we got a dude named Kendall Wellborn from SNE, and then we got another local Michigan guy, Matt Cromie, on our team.
Big homie Cromie.
He will be our backup pitcher this year. And then we got Jeremy Yates, Daniel Caton, Tommy Melton, and a few others. But I think we're gonna surprise a lot of people with the major division this year. We got, like I said, we got dudes that have something to prove, and then we have a bunch of like young and upcoming dudes that have had started to get their foot established as a upper hitter.
Nice.
I mean, with my perspective on that, like I think you guys are gonna have a very, very good season this year. And I mean, do you think with Riley no longer being in Steele and some of these guys no longer being with Resmondo, that it's going to open the door for some of these other major teams to come in and really have a shot at the throwing end this year?
Honestly, dude, I mean, I still consider Resi like they're in my opinion, Resi's always going to be at like that in that 1 or 2 spot. I think Like, I mean, Resmondo, I mean, they may have lost a couple guys, but, you know, they replaced them with Arjun Dodds, Phil Matt, Tyler Marshburn, and I think that's it.
I think
But
Reyna is also there.
Oh, and Reyna, yeah. So, you know, but Bezat, he's had surgery, so Reyna will be playing shortstop for him or middle for him. But I mean, I think they're gonna have just as good of a team. So, then you got Bad Draw. You know, they got a really big payroll. You know, I mean, they're up towards $1 million probably this year.
Damn.
But you know, I mean, the bigger the payroll, the better your team's gonna be. But I mean,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think
but
it's debatable. And then, I mean, the MPT team, I mean, that roster don't seem to be terrible as either. I mean,
they got a really good roster. Yeah, they got a really good roster. That's all I'm gonna say.
all right, I'm just stating, like, I think in the past couple of years, like last year, I think it was a 2-horse race, where I think this year the door might be open for, you know, a couple of you guys. If you guys get hot, like, I mean, it's really anyone's game this year at the Major World Series.
I would agree. You know, I really liked where. So obviously, like, conference is upper softball, but you know, when you get in the conference, you consider upper like AA and major. You know, I think softball, like the last 2 years at like the major AA level has been the best. It's like best competition wise it's been in a while, man. I mean, you got 4 to 5 major teams, and you know all these teams are pretty equal. I would think, you know, any given weekend it's anyone's game. Like, talent is so spread out. I mean, it's been unbelievable. I think it's been really good for softball at that level.
It's good.
We
Stacked teams.
over the last handful of years, there's always the comment of softball's dying, but it seems like there's been a ton of growth over the last couple of years, especially, I mean, weirdly coming through the pandemic. Like, I think last year was the most team that's ever been in the conference. Like, this year, I think there's going to be well over 40 teams again this year. And it seems like there's a lot of younger guys coming up in the game more than ever.
Dude, I've seen a bunch of young people coming up in the conference this year. You know, Zach Galiniak is another local guy. He made a pretty good impact on an A team this year. You know, but I mean, there seems to be like 5 to 10 new young guys in the conference each year, and I think it's really good for the upper game. You know, I love to see people move up to play at their potential.
I mean, you mentioned a couple guys like yourself. I mean, being a major player this year, I mean, guys like Phil, Marshburn, I mean, these guys are, well, I mean, they're all under 30 years old, and, you know.
And they're in way better shape than me, dude.
I mean, where's Phil at? Phil, we got to get Austyn on that you know, Phil Matt diet workout plan.
Yeah, I've been in the gym since the season ended. I haven't been in like a month because I got over COVID, and then I've been traveling the last 2 weeks. But you know, I plan
Really
to get back
taking
in it.
that southern twang. You're starting to get it.
Dude, I've had it since day 3 of living down here.
Getting that dad gut.
Starting to heal it more or hear it more.
It's really
That's
bad when you
hilarious.
go down to Kentucky. It gets terrible.
That's funny.
So,
Speaking of
like-
going down to Kentucky,
oh, here we go.
so we're gonna probably transition to moving into letting some viewers ask some questions, and everybody knows that segment gets started off by your boy, who has the hottest heater question for you of the evening. You've obviously played in a lot of different states. I would assume New York, Florida. You know, you've been all over. You've traveled. You've played all over. What is Austyn Dawe's go-to, I guess, meal or food you're going to get if you're playing somewhere, anywhere? Give me what your favorite food is you've had, I guess, anywhere you've been traveling playing ball.
Oh, dude. So, like my go-to food, like, you know, in Ohio, you know, you got to go to Cane's. Tennessee, you got to go to Zaxby's. You know, I'm not the most. I'm pretty unorthodox when it comes to eating. You know, I'm the kid in the dugout drinking a Mountain Dew while everyone else is drinking water.
Perfect.
But,
Zaxby's, you said, in Tennessee.
Dude, I mean, yeah, Zaxby's is killer. It's like Cane's.
Never heard of it.
It's like
Okay,
Cane's,
like
but
Cane's,
little
okay.
more options.
Hopefully not as dry.
But
Hey, hey.
you can
Been on
just
the scale.
you can mute him.
Yeah, I
Hey,
like
it's been on the
Canes,
scale.
bro. Chill
Hey,
out.
It's been on the scale.
Chill
Those that
out.
follow along, that has been on the scale at a tournament.
But
I
you
must
know,
have got it at a bad time.
there's a bunch of different places. Like when we go to ASA in Hendersonville, there's this really good barbecue place we go to.
Hendersonville,
Tennessee.
okay.
But basically, like, dude, like every conference event you go to, like, there's like an established place where everyone goes.
Okay.
Like you'll see 15, 16 softball players there when you go.
Because it's the spot.
It is, dude. I mean, like you go to Texas, you go to In-N-Out Burger. I mean, everyone wants In-N-Out
Yeah.
Burger for fast food.
Yep.
But restaurant-wise, oh, dude. I mean,
Maybe
there's
somewhere in Columbus, Indiana, if I ever come down to a tournament there again, where I need to go.
oh, dude. Let me think. I'll get back to you on that. I gotta think
Okay.
about that.
Yeah. I got a list rolling.
Yeah.
So
Good thing I don't see anyone from the great state of Texas here in the chat because I think they'd be eating you up about going to Whataburger.
No, it's good.
In-N-Out?
Dude, people down in Texas talk about Whataburger like it's.
Well, that's because I get it all the time, dude.
I mean, like that's like the the holy grail of fast food in the South.
Like says buffet across from Topeka, Kansas. Chromie, 40-ounce smoothie.
We did
King?
do that.
Yeah.
We did that.
Chinese buffet in Columbus. Canes is terrible. Ooh. See?
Hey,
Yeah,
that Chinese
I
buffet is pretty good down here, Johnny.
There you go.
so so as we start to kind of wind things down, chat, whoever's in here, please remember to like the stream. If you got a second to share it, follow the page, all that good stuff. Again, we grow as much as you guys help us grow. Yeah, without you guys, we're not going to do anything. So with that being said, if you guys have questions, please write them in the chat. We'll ask Dawe a question from us. Well, we got a couple left, but for you guys, get some questions out. I did see one that I will ask you after I get this one from you. But if you have a question for him, whether it's about his bat, his team this year, anything softball related, even food like G wants to know, go ahead and ask him now, and we'll get to him. Austyn, we always ask, whatever local guests we get on here, we're gonna ask them the same question, and we want to hear your opinion. Where do you see Michigan softball in 5 years, and what are some things that we can do, or that Michigan can do, maybe it's directors or whoever, to make it better?
Or players, or coaches.
Yeah, or players, whatever it is.
If you would have asked me this question a couple years ago, I would have said it probably would have been near non-existent. But like you guys said during COVID, man, I feel like it like softball's kind of grown up a little, and I think with Jimmy Z taking over One Nation, I think that's a really good business move by Cliff and them. So I mean, I think One Nation is going to grow a bunch, and in Michigan, and I think softball is going to keep growing.
Okay.
The women's game, I feel like you get like a team or two new every year. I feel like you get a whole new group to come over, if it's from the west side to come over, or if it's just a new group in general.
Okay, so I had a question from Stan Grunis, who he asked it earlier, but I've been saving it. He asked, so with you playing in the majors, who's the one guy that you've played against that you actually take the time to watch play?
Oh, there's a couple dudes, I try and sit and watch, like whether they're my buddy or not, but I'm still young, so I kind of fanboy when I'm up there, I mean, I don't tell it to their face because they'd make fun of you, but but it's really fun to watch, like Brian Wegman play. You got your Greg Cannell. I mean, it's good. I mean, there's a bunch of dudes where you can watch and pick apart their game and learn to do something, or how you can take your game to the next level.
Okay, this one's
Guy McCombs wants to know why your left-handed swing's better than your right-handed swing.
Yo, people have been telling me that for years, dude. Like, hey man, why does your left-handed swing look so much smoother? And I'm like, dude, I don't know. I mean,
Lefties are smooth, man. That's fine.
Yo, my right-handed swing is weird.
It works. Got you a damn bat.
Yeah, it's like, you know, a lot of people. I just try to swing as hard as I can. I mean, it's
Grip it and rip it.
yeah. I mean, unless I'm trying to play the game like, and I try to hit it backside or something, like, I'll take something off my swing. But like if I'm going for a hole on the pull side, man, I'm trying to hit that hole as hard as I can. I don't need to take something off and give these because I mean these are the best defensive players in the country, man. Like if you like, there's no
anything off,
there's no tapping a ball through a hole, man. Like those are outs.
You gotta hit it through the hole.
Yeah.
So I do, to compound to go on what Flip asked you, I'm going to ask a question. In your opinion, and you can't name yourself, I don't think you would actually do that, but we're going to take that out of the equation. Who is the best hitter in your opinion in the game today?
Like
Complete hitter.
Complete hitter.
Complete hitter.
Oh.
Can I get that drum roll, please?
Like, are you talking about like that does all the right things, or like just high?
Situationally,
hold on. In your opinion, a guy that you think, I mean, he's always like, he's just the best hitter, like a complete guy. If he needs to get up and hit a home run, he's going to hit a home run.
Josh Riley. Josh Riley is your best hitter in the country.
Riley.
I mean, he hit like 768 one year, and then last year he hit like upper sevens again and had over 300 at bats.
I mean, that's impressive for sure.
I mean, that's unheard of, dude.
And I mean, from my understanding, he also got a impressive payday for being that guy as well this year.
Yes.
So this one's from, and you can't use your own bet. Just take that out of the equation. Yeah, take that out of the equation here. Mario Bynum wants to know your favorite softball bat you've ever used.
I mean, if I can't use mine, it's gonna be it'd either have to be that Mikan 12-inch blue bat, like the PT12, or the Honey Badger. I mean, those are two great bats.
Okay, and the last question from the chat is from Cody Moore. I'm gonna assume you know him. So he said, "It's been fun to watch your journey since we were kids. What's been the biggest high of your career and your biggest low, if there is one?" That's a good one.
Oh yeah, dude, I've known Cody since I was probably 4, maybe younger. Our dads played together. Him and I grew up playing baseball together, floor hockey together. I've known him since a kid. But the high point of my career,
yet to be, yet to come.
So, dude, I would have to say there's probably like the AA was like a huge accomplishment this year, and my buddy Bo pointed to me after, because I played really good the first 2 days, and then like the final day, man, I kind of struggled, and I was I've never had someone walk somebody to get to me to make an out.
The disrespect.
And I made it out, so I was just fucking pissed off, But winning AA Worlds was great, even though I didn't seem very happy afterwards, because I sucked. But I had to, like, oh shoot, what did I just do?
You're still with us, just so you know.
Okay, there we go. But after he talked to me, and I was like, he's right. I was the day after, really, I was like, holy shit, man! Like, I just won AA Worlds, man. Not many people can say that. That was really cool. Winning MVP of the ASA was extremely. It was a blessing, man. It was awesome. Those were probably the two highs in my career.
What about your low?
My low, that would have been
probably when I punted your cookies.
That was upsetting. It would have been. Don't quote me on the year. I think it was 2018, the year before GMS, man. So I just had a great year the year before with Honey Badgers and Arsenal and doing all that stuff. I'd started the year out with Arsenal, and then ended up going up with Mikey Evans and to La Familia. Started off really good. Coach and I didn't really have we weren't on the same page. So and then after that I went to Premier. But going to like 4 different teams in a year, man. And
Trying to find a home.
but and the end of the year was Cincy softball, man. The end of the year was great, but like I was 19. I didn't have a lot of money. Put 60,000 miles on my car in 1 year driving to softball. But just essentially like being a role player, but not being a role player. Like I was a bench player, never really got a fair shot, I'd say. But I really killed softball for me that year. Like I almost debated even playing the next year.
Jeez, that's gotta take a lot.
Not many people know that, but yeah.
Exclusive hot soup from Austyn Dawe,
Yeah.
folks. He almost retired, but he didn't. Fast forward, he's got his own damn bat. That's dope.
It was close, man. I was about ready to just call it quits.
So the last question for this. So obviously you've clearly had quite a softball career so far, and we all know you're just getting started. But what's your favorite event to play in every year, and what was your favorite event you've ever played in since you've started?
So, I'll break this up into like my favorite tournament, my favorite conference tournament. So my favorite conference tournament has got to be. They don't have it anymore, but it's the Dudley over in Minnesota. It's a great tournament, and then the Smokies. It's just a great tournament. But my favorite non-conference tournament, I'd probably have to say is Toys for Tots over in Palm Springs. That takes the cake for favorite tournament in general.
So what sets it apart?
Dude, I mean, it is
Obviously, I've never played there.
Dude, I mean, it's literally in the middle of mountain ranges. So like wherever you play, there's mountains like in the whole
outfield.
Oh, dude, it's awesome. I mean, and like downtown, like there's so much stuff to do. I mean, that's like where Elvis used to go, like when he wasn't like shooting movies in Hollywood.
Right.
That's
Like all those movie stars would drive 4 hours to go to Palm Springs, and they just kept it like how it used to be back in the day, and like going downtown is just cool.
Okay, and that was your favorite event you've ever played in, was the
yeah.
Toys for Tots? Okay,
Yep, in Palm Springs, man.
that's dope. Sounds like it's for
When
a
is
good
that
purpose
tournament?
too.
Oh, I want to say it's like the last weekend of December. No, it's not. It's December, first weekend of December. My second weekend of December. My bad.
So leaving Michigan or Indiana to go to Southern California and in mid-December, I mean, I could see the appeal of this.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
It's a big tournament too. I mean, there's probably 90 teams in every year.
Damn.
So is it like you guys? Is it really like you raise finances or funding or anything like that for
Yeah.
Toys for Tots?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, I've never I don't really know the whole thing. Like, I don't know if our sponsor pays for the entry fee and whatnot, but like we all bring toys. Like each player brings toys and stuff.
That's sweet.
So like
man.
you can either
That's
like they
sweet.
make it to where you can pay like $10 to get in per person, or you can bring like a toy per person, and a lot of people bring in toys and stuff. So
That's
What it
sweet.
should be about.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean it's massive, dude. Like they'll just see mounds and mounds of toys.
Good.
It's all about.
Exactly. All right, man. I guess you're off the clock, Dawe. Again, people still watching, please like the page, like the actual stream itself.
Thank you.
Share the page. Tell your friends to follow it. For those who don't know or haven't checked it out, please go to our YouTube page at Off the Bench Live and leave us a subscribe. Okay, just go subscribe to it. Right now we're shooting for 100 subscribers. I believe we're halfway there. You can follow us on Twitter at Off the Bench Live. Facebook is Off the Bench Live, and YouTube is Off the Bench Live. We also have a TikTok that we made that we haven't really got on there yet, but we do have that.
Don't worry, we'll be getting on
Yeah,
there.
we'll be on there soon, and
My
that
side
is,
of the code.
yeah, that is as well Off the Bench Live. Dawe, thank you obviously very much for joining us, man. Thank you for coming out and giving the insight, answering some questions, and just being all around nice. Congratulations on everything. Obviously, what you've accomplished in I guess you'd say the short amount of time you've played ball is a lot more than a lot of us have. So obviously, hats off to you. big round of applause for you on that.
Looking forward to seeing big things.
No,
Yeah.
thanks for having me, guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah, appreciate it.
I mean, we appreciate it, man. And congrats on the bat. Like,
Yeah.
I know that's it's a huge milestone for any softball player, and for to come up at your age and to have the success you have, man. The hats off to you, man. I couldn't be happier for you.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it, Rip.
Before I do hit the outro on you guys, Thursday, we're coming with King Seat. I did not make the flyer. I do apologize for that. So I don't have it. I will advertise it. But I know that Thursday will be very exciting for you guys because our special guest on Thursday will be none other than the USSSA director, David Word. Now, I know a lot of you guys have, things you want to say, things you want to ask, all that fun stuff. We'll be asking a lot of the questions you guys want to know the answers to. We will also be taking questions from some of you guys. Yeah, shoot it in the inbox, comment, make sure you're here live. That's Thursday. We'll be doing King Seat at 8 p.m. with USSSA director Dave Word.
And get 500 views.
No, yeah, get 500 views. Listen, if we didn't do a giveaway this episode, but obviously we can do giveaways every episode. But if we are able to get the 500 viewers, one lucky viewer that likes the stream, you have to like the actual stream. One lucky viewer will be receiving an Austyn Dawe bat. That's huge, man. A lot of you guys want to buy them when you get one for free.
Appreciate that. Yes, big time. We appreciate that.
Like and share the page.
Yeah, like and share the page. Leave us a follow. Check us out on YouTube, Twitter, TikTok. Everything's at Off the Bench Live. And we will see you guys Thursday at 8 p.m. Deuces!